What's up, guys? My name's Dean, or as most of you know me, Twisty, and it is time, yes it is time, to get to another round preview. Now, today I've only got 5 games. I apologise for not having it out last night. I was very busy, didn't get home until 8 o'clock, and the game had kind of already started by that point, so it'll be unnecessary for me to release. Of course, West Coast winning. We'll cover that in the wrap-up later this week. But let's take a look at the remaining games for the round. There's 5 of them this week, the final of the 3 bye rounds. In the first game that's tonight, or the second game of the round, but the one tonight is Port Adelaide and the Tigers. Go the Mighty Tigers. For Port Adelaide, the changes, Homsch Schultz for his first game of the season, and Kane Mitchell come in. Sam Gray, Paul Stewart, and Dougal Howard all out of the side. For Port Adelaide, for the Tigers, Ivan Marek and Ben Griffiths come in. A couple of talls in for Hampson, and Townsend has been omitted. So obviously Griffiths back from sort of like a flu illness thing last week, and Marriage back for the first time since I think it was round 4 or 5. Hampson's been in really good form for the Tigers. He sort of had a knee injury at the end of the game last week, and he's just sort of come back. Or, you know, they're going to just like not risk him this week, which I think is a good decision seeing as he's in such good form. But at the Adelaide Oval, Port Adelaide are in some reasonable touch. Richmond are also in some reasonable touch. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, the Tigers, only dropping to North Melbourne along the way, but they haven't really beaten anyone significant apart from Sydney. So we'll have to see how they go. If they can, if they win this game, they're definitely a couple of games outside the top 8, and I think the Dogs are the ones at risk of dropping out. Same thing with Port Adelaide. They've still got to think their finals chances are alive. They win this game, they've got to just keep winning games and beat top 8 sides, but they've got a tougher draw than the Tigers at this late end of the season. I'm picking Richmond, as I always do, because I am backing in the Tigers. I think that they will win, even though it is over at Adelaide Oval. Richmond are generally okay against Port Adelaide. The game they played earlier in the season was probably one of our worst for the season. So I think that as long as we don't play that badly, we should pull off a victory tonight. Next game is tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, early game. The Gold Coast Suns in St Kilda. Jack Martin, Calamar Chi, and Cade Collar-Jasny come in for Hallahan, Grant, and Mackenzie out with a quad injury. And for the Saints, big win over Geelong last week. Tommy Lee, Jack Loney come in. Webster and Wright out with a couple of injuries there. Now, this is up at Metricon Stadium, and despite the Gold Coast sort of having this big form slump, lost like 10 in a row or something, I think they're going to win this game. I think that they're my upset this week. They actually have a really, really strong side in, probably their strongest side since about round 1 or 2. So I think that they will definitely put on a very, very good performance this weekend and beat the Saints, who knocked over the Cats last weekend. I just think it's going to happen. I'm not sure why, but I think the Gold Coast, they're a very good list. They're a very good team. It's just not all of them are on the park at once. And if they can do that, if they can all get on the park at the end of the season, this back end, they will definitely, you know, maybe knock off a couple of good sides. So I think they're going to win this game. The Gold Coast Suns get their first win in 11 weeks or something, whatever it is, against the Saints, who were very, very good last week. If the Saints bring the same intent as last week, they'll win the game, but I'm going for the Gold Coast here. Next game is Sydney and the Western Bulldogs, probably the game of the round, some would say. Jeremy Laidler comes in for Alia, who has been omitted from the side for the for the Swans, sorry. And for the Dogs, Easton Wood, Smith, Webb, Menson, and Johannesson come back into that side. Big ins there with Big Wilbur and Johannesson, and Easton Wood as well. Very big ins. Out for Campbell, Roberts, Dunkley, Honeychurch, and Williams, who's out with a knee injury. So, a few changes there for the Dogs. Had the bye last weekend, the Western Bulldogs, and should be rested up. I think so did the Swans. So both these sides coming off a bye. It'll be interesting to see how they go, match up against each other. At the SCG, I think Sydney are going to win that game then, just because it's at the SCG. Back in Melbourne, I think they'd probably still win the Swans, but the Bulldogs, they beat them up there last year. So if, never know, stranger things happen. But the Swans, they will regain top spot if they win this game, and I think they're going to do that. The fourth game I'm going to take a look at is Carlton and Collingwood. Jack Silvani comes in for Jason Tutt. Going to make his debut, Jack Silvani, son of the great sauce, Stephen Silvani. Very, very good footballer. His kid is like small forward. Jack Silvani is pretty good. I watched a little bit of TAC Cup last year with him and the Under-18 National Championships. He's quite a good player, so they'd be very happy to get him on the park, Carlton. It will be interesting to see if he can make an immediate impact, or it'll take him sort of a while. It's taken him a while to get to his debut, but 15 games in, he should probably play out the rest of the season, you think, now that he's in this side. And for the Pies, Goldsack Moore come in for Jesse White and Jonathan Marsh. So Travis Cloke keeps his spot in the Collingwood side, and Jesse White, obviously the unlucky one there for Collingwood. I think that Cloke is definitely a more valuable player than Jesse White, and he will definitely show his impact. He was very good up the ground last week, Travis Cloke. Probably his best game for the year, to be honest. And I don't know. I think I've picked Carlton to win this game. I don't know why. Maybe it's... I don't know. I'm picking Carlton to win this game. I can't understand why, but no. Collingwood. Goldsack's back. Moore's back. Cloke's in okay-ish form. I'll have to wait and see. It'll probably be a pretty close game in the end, I'm thinking. But I'm going to pick the Blues to win this one. On to the final game that I'm going through for the round is on Sunday. It is Melbourne and Adelaide. For the Ds, Mitchie, Grimes, Garlett, Harms, and Jones come into the squad. Wagner and Oliver have been out of that side. And for the Crows, no changes so far. Otten, Malira, and Henderson are into that squad of 25. The Crows are going to win this one despite being in Melbourne. Even though Melbourne have kind of held their own against some top 8 sides, but then fallen dramatically against others. I think the Crows, they are the form team of the competition. They are pushing for a top 4 spot. If they can get there, it's going to be tough, but they're going to have to knock out one of the Swans, the Giants, the Hawks, or the Cats. So it's going to be a good... I think they're probably the top 5 teams in the comp at the moment. The Hawks, the Cats, the Giants, the Swans, and the Crows. They're definitely the top 5. And then everyone else is sort of a tier below them. So we'll wait and see how we go. I think the Crows will win this one. Hopefully I can get all these. I missed the tip last night because I didn't get my tips in time. So I didn't get Essendon. I had to pick Essendon. Automatically gave me the away team, which was a little bit disappointing. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I might have something else up later today. No epic battle, unfortunately, but possibly something else. So we'll wait and see how we go there. Hopefully I'll see you guys later tonight. Leave a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.